mentioned several times on and on again about the financial state of the country. My question is two-part. One, you've called for better tax compliance. Have you seen a better payment of taxes by taxpayers? And another source of income, of course, is income from large companies. However, there are certain companies, I am not sure of the number, and that's where my question comes. How many larger companies, or even smaller ones, still have tax holidays?
Thank you, Alita. On your first question, what we have seen since the devastation of the hurricanes is a good compliance from those who were able to conduct business nevertheless, paying their taxes. And the reason also, in talking to the business community, they also understand, and Hurricanes Irma and Maria kind of exposed it, that once you reach a status of emergency, there's where they start to realize, a lot of people then, how important it is to have paid your taxes. But there's no data available at this point in time to give you an exact answer on, did I see a rise in compliance? Because of course there are still businesses that are non-operational. A lot of businesses are out of business, and some businesses are partially operating. But this is one of the projects that are which is included in the tax transformation plans of action, is to collect the data to make sure that you have the right ICT software in place that you can collect the data. So that's bringing the whole tax situation on a higher level where it should be, because for us it's very important to have data available to move forward in a sustainable way, the way Mr. Brown was referring to. On the second question, that was, Alita, again, on the tax holidays. We have approved so far 3-4 tax holidays to major investors, and that lies more in the area of the hotel sector. But tax holidays, as a matter of fact, it is kind of proven that tax holidays does not really deliver the monies that you would like to see to the country. It's actually costs you money. And the whole tax holiday system that we have for the past decades, that's why we reach at the point that, it's time to do away with that facility. Then the hurricanes came, and then you notice there was a demand for it. But the question always remains, and that we can only find out at the end of when the projects are finalized and the taxes are filed, to see what it delivered us versus what it delivered the community that requested the tax holidays. There is I don't want to call it a false misconception that tax holidays really generate much more interest of foreign investors. That is really not proven, but it is also, it provides at least a mindset, because there are other incentives that this government has to offer. So in that sense, yes, we are happy that we were able to provide for the tax holidays, so that at least there is some relief in the reinvestment made by the hotels that were already present and the ones that are still to come. But we still need to find out at the end of the day, what it cost the coffers of the country.
Alita, the mic.
Sorry.
Just a follow-up. The properties or the companies that have received these tax holidays, and what is the period for those? 5 years, 10 years, less?
Well, the law allows you up to 9-10 years to have that tax holiday, and it's around 2%. You will pay 2% profit tax. but only on the part of your operation that falls under the tax holiday, so not the overall operations of the enterprise. So if you invested in additional 10 rooms in your hotel, then whatever monies you make on the 10 rooms, there's where you have the 2% lower profit tax fee applied to. The rest falls under the normal tariff of, 33, 34%. So that calculation at the end of the day we still have to make, but it is not an overall. So I want to make clear that it's not an overall thing. As a matter of fact, yesterday in the Council of Ministers, we had a discussion, and even though we approved these tax holidays, but it was a general sentiment also voiced by the Prime Minister that we would like to see that when investors come to St. Maarten and we as a government provide them certain incentives to do so, that they also take into consideration what is it that they can do back for our country. And we were contemplating, towards education, the youth, do something, sponsor or come with a, So, and then you can go in a variety of directions. You can think of, legislate it, but you don't really want to go there and make it compulsory. But I think it should be something that we need to discuss when permits or permission is requested for holidays. This is what we would like to see back from you. So we are certainly moving into that direction as well, and taken into consideration for. Sorry? What was with the companies? So far, Maho, Alegria, Divi Little Bay, and the new development at Great Bay Beach, where the former Great Bay Beach Hotel Resort was. Sorry? Yeah, all of them were damaged, severely damaged through the hurricane. And so those are the ones, so are the recipients so far. As we all know, there is quite some insurance payout in a account from the bondholder at the airport, and that is exactly one of the points that we hopefully have finalized now. We have been busy the past weeks to come to a form of a agreement, because there are a lot of components in getting the financing together. The financing, the amount, that was one part. The other part is how do we go about getting released the insurance proceeds that were paid out to the airport. According to the contract that is there, the insurance proceeds were paid into an account that is managed by the bondholder, and the bondholder is the one that decides when to release it back to the airport for whatever reason in the reconstruction of the airport. I believe that we will be able to finalize, to come to a conclusion with the bondholders on that, because once we have put some guarantees in place, which we did in the meantime, we committed to that. We need to sign a so-called concession agreement for that reason, and that the purpose of it is then that out of the insurance proceeds, funds will be released that will be earmarked to be used together with the 101 million for the reconstruction of the airport. So we are trying to put the dot on the I right now to finalize that, and then we have to move to procurement. Put the bid out for the contractors to do it, and then we moving forward to. So I can't give you an idea on when we will see yellow helmets and yellow vests walking in a building, but the contract, the agreement that is in the final phase now, to satisfy some of the concerns of the bondholder, and then we can move to the procurement.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
We sit in a Ferris wheel, and it seems like there is no end or no stop, so no one can get off of it. On one side you have CFD that is instructing the government pertaining to her budget, and the other side you find government that are looking only within the Ferris wheel or the roundabout for the means within St. Martin or the territory to try to solve the problems of the country. But the reality is that we live within a kingdom. The kingdom, especially coming from the Netherlands, you hear they use strategically the word autonomous. Those are pure baloney and nonsense. We have certain degree of autonomy over our economic development to a certain extent. You could clearly see also when the government in Curacao approached Chinese and whatever for the oil refinery, Holland involved itself one time in it. So they want to curtail or even manage economic growth. What is happening here? First of all, both the Minister of Justice, because we're going to get to Parliament, it's a two-part question it is. The Minister of Justice and the ministers need to understand why a budget needs to be presented, and it needs to be a budget for development. That right has been obtained through the United Nations, because even the United Nations discovered that there is huge discrepancy on the islands versus in Europe, in the Netherlands. Not pockets. We have landmass of poverty. We have large amount of youngsters that are dropping out of schools. We have living conditions that resemble certain things in South America or even at times right here in the Caribbean, close to conditions such in Jamaica and in Haiti. If you walk through some of the districts, you understand? We have some extreme situation here that the Netherlands doesn't want to address. And the whole social development of this country within the kingdom scheme is disgraceful when you put a true picture. Because, and also when they are demanding that the government of St. Martin make a balanced budget, the word balancing the budget, it's in violation really with a development budget. First, it is purely nonsensical to tell the government to balance a budget when they have not attained the highest level of development because the instruments were not put in place. And I'll put it this way, are purposely not put in place for the islands of the Caribbean, but especially our concentration in St. Martin for its development. And this has not been happening since Irma. This has always been the strategy of the Dutch government to curb and slow down the development of the people. And then the other next part that we have that works against us is that our people in government, I'm talking about ministers and head of departments and so, are not sufficiently educating themselves about these international treaties and report to truly then start to make these demands on the kingdom. So presenting a budget for development will put St. Martin on the pathway now to start to truly deal with, from healthcare as it should, with developing the new district and demolishing those old districts, building proper roads, changing the living conditions of the people, see to it that there's sufficient budget supplement that goes towards, understand, you understand, because people need to live. We need also adjustment that needs to be made on pension. All this is not things that St. Martin have to come up with. The kingdom is solely responsible based on international convention that she signed. Now here's where the violation lies. The Netherlands, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, has agreed to these conventions, has ratified the convention, and has violated in implementing the conventions. What does the convention do? These conventions lift the people of the Caribbean part of the kingdom. It guarantees them their human right. It monitors the development of human rights in the Caribbean part of the kingdom, because living in poverty is a violation of human rights. Their instrument for training from police officers, doctors, judges, teachers, the whole diaspora of the academic, to truly implement and put processes in place for the development of human rights in the territory. So thereby now, people now can be measured based on their development. This is not happening. Then we keep appointing people to the Council of Ministers who at times purposely are not, and some are also not taken into consideration. Some are purposely not, based on their knowledge, not taken into consideration to implement. We don't know if there's the lack of boldness or just don't care, but some are just ignorant to the fact. What we want to see, that we have competent ministers there who make it their business in learning what is there on the book, because I don't think we of the platform doesn't believe that anyone should occupy these vital positions in society, from judges to teachers to lawyers to police officers to custom officers, whoever it is that has these key role in society, and are not knowledgeable of the human right development that need to take place in the side of the kingdom, because they just cannot put the best reports, develop the best programs for development in the territory. So that is one requirement that is there that needs to be implemented. But who can implement this? The Council of Ministers need to understand that they are obligated in demanding, irrespective of the political climate, irrespective of the financial condition of St. Martin, because the right of the people is the right of the people. So we cannot be being discriminated by the Kingdom of the Netherlands and demand that we sit in a thesis of development and then want to exact from the society, from this country, that their performance should be as the same in the Netherlands or to the index of the Netherlands. It can't happen by this form of discrimination that is done by the Netherlands and the ignorance that exists among our appointed, elected, and also our academia, as little as
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear just paying some bills, taking care of business. You know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
It was good. I love playing softball. I used to play outfield, and things was okay then.
And how many years you playing softball?
That one, a couple of years. I don't remember exactly how many years, but a couple of years.
You know, the whole family is a sports fan because of the big balls. Support teams football.
Yeah. All of my sisters, all of them, all of my sisters. No.
So, give us an insight of more, for instance, like how do you enjoy the sports? You mentioned it already, but give me a more insight of how you enjoy the sports in those days.
Well, in those days, the sports was good. The stand used to be full of people, but nowadays I think everybody is forgetting about sports. They don't come out like before, so it's going down the drain. Exactly, no. They should get more active and then bring the children together, because if you don't do it with the children, when they get big, then you don't have anything anymore. Well, I feel good. That's when you're good, right?
My name is Veronica Arndell, and I'm from the softball, not association, but the Make Now Association. We just made it. I'm here because I take softball to heart. I never played the game, but there's nothing in the game that I think passed me, nothing, such as knowing the game, knowing when you play wrong, knowing when you play right. But besides all that, it dawned on me that there are players that I knew from 1977 that are not being recognized by the people of St. Martin who enjoyed seeing them play. I find that if anybody to recognize the sports in St. Martin should be St. Martiners. They should be the one to recognize the people who played the game, whether it be softball, baseball, basketball, football, you name it, tennis, table tennis. We have a player who I feel should be somewhere on a monument. That's Debbie Warner, because she represented St. Martin, she represented Aruba, she represented Curacao, playing table tennis. Now, back to softball. When I come here on the field of late, it hurts very much to see what softball has become. It's no longer the game that me and many others used to sit on Carib Lumber Ballpark, which was stones. We had to sit under a tree, a blolly tree or a pumsret tree. We had to sit there and watch them play. And they played with heart and soul. At a given time when they didn't have rule books, I take it on me and I order rule books for softball.